Time for a Man in Gray book review. Today's book is Ellis Island, Images of America by Barry Moreno, published in 2003 by Arcadia Publishing. It's 128 pages. Before I talk about this specific book, I want to spend just a few minutes talking about the publisher, Arcadia Publishing, because they're really kind of a unique publishing house. They were founded in the 1990s, and you've almost certainly seen their books if you've gone to a bookstore and perused the local history section. They also sell their books in unconventional places. You see them in little spinner racks in drugstores, hardware stores, airports, museums, places like that. So you've almost always, there's a very high likelihood that you've seen these books around. They always have this kind of sepia-toned cover. And the basic idea here for their main book series is they get a local historian. What they do is they publish micro-histories, little short micro-history books about local areas, local towns, whatever. And so what they do is they get local historians to get together about 200 photographs, and then they write a little introduction, and then the book itself is made up of photographs that are captioned. And these books are on very, very specific historical events are places. For example, I just jotted down some of these. Arcadia's published books on Chicago's Jewish West Side, on Florida's lighthouses, on Texas gunslingers, on Pan American Airlines, and on the 1933 Chicago World's Fair. So if you live in a city of, say, 100,000, 200,000 people or more, it's almost guaranteed that Arcadia has put out some kind of book about your town. And you'll probably find it if you go to a local bookstore and go to the local history section. This company was founded, it's based in South Carolina. It was founded in the 1990s, and since then they've published something like 18,000 volumes. So they're just a gigantic range of these books. They've also made a commitment to make sure that the paper that the book uses is from America, from the United States. They don't import paper, and their books are printed in the United States. So that's Arcadia Publishing. They also publish longer books that are text-based that are on historical events as well. But this is the Images of America is their main series. And again, a lot of these books are of only local interest, but some of the books have broader appeal, and I think this is one of them. Ellis Island, of course, is a place that a lot of people are familiar with. It's a little island off of New York City, and for about 60 years, from the late 19th century until the early 1950s, Ellis Island was the main processing point for immigrants coming into the United States from Europe and Africa. And this book contains about 200 photographs of the island and some of the people that arrived there before Ellis Island was shut down. So I'll show you some of the photographs in here real quickly that I've marked. Here is an aerial photograph of the island from 1920. If you can see here, a very small island. The big building here is the dormitory where people were housed while they were waiting to be processed. Then we have here are a couple of photographs of people on ships coming in to be processed at Ellis Island, jammed up onto the deck there, waiting to get in. And then here we've got some photographs of doctors examining people. You had to have an eye exam, and they also checked you for general health and mental fitness. And if you failed any of those, they put you in detention, and then they decided whether to deport you or not. There's a bunch of photographs of various nationalities of people. One of the people who worked at Ellis Island was an amateur photographer, and he took a lot of photographs from around 1910 to around 1920 of a lot of the people coming here, and you can see people from different nationalities here. And there's also a special section of some of the famous people that came to this country from Ellis Island. Here, for example, is Johnny Weissmuller, Tarzan. Here's Bob Hope, the comedian, and this is the director and actor Erich von Stroheim. All of those people came to the United States through Ellis Island. The island was decommissioned in the 1950s and fell into ruin, but in the 1980s it was declared a historical monument, and then efforts were made to restore it, and today it's a major tourist attraction. These are some photographs of the restoration effort at Ellis Island. So the book really covers kind of the whole history of Ellis Island. It's not a true history book. It's just a collection of photographs with captions, but it does, it would go as an addendum to a main history of Ellis Island. It's a real easy, quick book to read. All of these Images of America books are about 128 pages, and they're mostly photographs, so you can zip through them in less than an hour. And they're kind of whet your appetite for a deeper look at the history of a certain area. So, if you're interested in Ellis Island and the history of American immigration, this is a fun book to look at. The historical pictures are really well done, and the guy who wrote the book has spent decades studying Ellis Island and working. He worked on the restoration of the island too when it was being restored to its current condition. The book is Ellis Island, Images of America. The author is Barry Moreno. This has been another Man in Gray book review. Thanks for watching.